What's going on, everybody? My name is Michael Weer, and for my first movie review of the year 2023, we are talking about the brand new Netflix released movie, The Pale Blue Eye. So if you have a Netflix subscription, or if you're like the rest of us and you just kind of get someone else's login for a Netflix subscription, I know that's going away in 2023, but for now, it's still a thing. So if you have access to Netflix, you could check out this movie, The Pale Blue Eye. My only recommendation, don't watch this at night, because I turned it on, I had 2 hours before I had to go to sleep, and I was like, oh, this will be perfect. And it put me right to sleep. So I had to wake up this morning and finish it. It's just a very slow-going movie. That's not a negative. It's just don't put it on at night when you're all comfy in your bed. That's my only recommendation. Okay, The Pale Blue Eye. Let's do the review.
Where are the facts? Where are the simple facts? The truth!
I believe the dead haunt us because we love them too little.
We are closer. It's only a matter of time.
And so, guys, The Pale Blue Eye is directed by Scott Cooper, and it stars Christian Bale as Augustus Landor, who is a veteran detective that lives by himself after his daughter went missing several years ago. And he lives pretty close to this military school where there has been a grisly murder. Not only was a cadet found hung, but his heart was taken out. And so, since he lives close, they're like, listen, we are employing you to come back out of retirement to come figure out who murdered this young cadet. And while Augustus Landor is on the case, interviewing different cadets, he runs into a very young cadet named Edgar Allen Poe. Before he was the story writer, he was a cadet. And the character is played by actor Harry Melling. Once these two characters meet, Augustus decides he's going to bring on Edgar Allen Poe as sort of a sidekick, sort of bring him in. And the way they do that is a little weird, but it makes sense in the long run. Like, Augustus Landor tells Edgar Allan Poe, he's like, listen, you're going to work for me, I can't pay you, but you're going to get experience out of this. And Edgar Allan Poe is sort of this person that's never been taken serious and always made fun of and just put down by society and his peers. So the fact that Augustus wants him on his side, he takes a lot of pride in that. And so he says, okay, I'll join you. So now he's sort of helping Augustus Landor figure out who did this grisly murder. But while they're trying to unravel this murder, several other murders start to happen throughout the movie. There's murders of different cadets and murders of farm animals. But the one thing that connects all of these things is their hearts are being taken out. And everything points towards witchcraft. Okay, that's everything I can give you in the synopsis for this story without spoiling things. And there are some twists that I really enjoyed. But let's get into my likes and some of my dislikes. The first like I have for this movie is just Christian Bale's performance overall. I just love watching Christian Bale on screen. Whether he's a villain in both the DC universe or the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or he's just being Christian Bale from American Psycho, one of my favorite movies of all time. I just love watching Christian Bale do his thing. And in this movie, he's a very laid-back, subdued, and somewhat broken man. And you feel all of those emotions that he has throughout the movie. Whether he's on the case or he's solving the case or he's a broken father. Like, you feel all those things from him, and I really appreciate that from his acting. So from an acting standpoint, one of my favorite things about this movie is just watching Christian Bale on screen. I also like the twist this movie has. I kind of alluded to it a second ago, but I like that it's a murder mystery and then it turns into sort of a revenge tale. And I really liked that. Like, I didn't like everything about this movie. I wasn't a huge fan of the pacing of this movie. I felt like they could have sped some things up. It's not like my favorite thing I've seen in a long time, but I do like that the movie had you thinking it was one thing for a very long time, and at the very end of the movie, they sort of twisted on its head. And I liked that because it added to the movie when it needed it the most. Like, by the end of the movie, I was like, oh, okay. All right, well, so everything you kind of explained it was going to be is what it was. And then they were like, oh, also in a twist. And I was like, I liked that twist. So I did like the twist in the story. So there's two things I dislike about this movie, guys, and they're both kind of gripes. They're not like, they didn't push me over the edge to hate this movie, but they're gripes. The first one is Harry Melling's portrayal of Edgar Allan Poe. As much as I like Christian Bale's portrayal of Augustus Landor, and I bought into every second of his screen time, Harry Melling's portrayal of Edgar Allan Poe is like the opposite end of that. I mean, maybe he was historically accurate. I don't know. But all these murderous stories that I've read from Edgar Allan Poe, and then when you see a representation on screen, and it's like this soft-spoken Southern accent guy talking about, I'm a poet, I'm a citizen of the world. Like, I was like, I don't know, it didn't mesh with me. Maybe it's historically accurate, but for me personally, like, I would have liked him to have been, I don't know, a little more angry. I guess. And the second thing I disliked about this movie is every time there's a scene around the military academy or around Augustus Landor's home, which is pretty close to the academy, there's always like the cadet noise in the background, like people being marched around or something like always throughout the entire movie. And I don't know if I picked that up because I was watching the majority of this movie on AirPods. I don't know, but like I kept picking that up in these intimate scenes that Augustus Landor would have with Edgar Allan Poe. They'd be talking and you hear like marching commands coming from outside the window. And I'm like, we get it. You're near the cadet school. I understand that as a viewer. I get that, but I don't need that pumped in. And at a certain point, it just felt like fake audio. Like if I had to guess there, it's the same audio being pumped in to the movie the entire time. And it didn't work for me. And it kind of took me out of those scenes at times. Overall, guys, I'll say that I enjoyed this movie, but I didn't love this movie. I mean, it's just a movie that happened. It's sort of like every other Netflix released movie from the past several years. It's like Netflix drops a movie on Netflix and they spend a lot of money to get a big name actor like Christian Bale. And then I watch it and I'm like, okay, well, I watched this for free on Netflix and I'm probably never going to watch it again. So I don't know. Like, I don't know what Netflix is doing not releasing movies with big name actors in theaters. I really don't understand it, but that's the Netflix model. They just release stuff onto their streaming platform and they're like, this will get subscriptions. Not really. Like, I'd have a hard time telling someone, you need to get Netflix. You don't have Netflix? You need to get it to watch this movie. Like, I mean, that's how I felt with Hulu last year. I was telling people, oh, you don't have Hulu? You got to watch Prey. You've got to watch the Predators prequel. It's fantastic. Oh, you don't have Hulu? You got to watch Hellraiser. Like, those two movies, again, I don't know what Hulu was thinking because both of those would have done great in the movie theaters. But I understand that it brought eyes to their platform. With Netflix and this movie, it's just, you know, I had an okay time with it. I had a decent time with it. But will I watch it again? Probably not. It's a movie. That's how I feel. And that's my movie review for The Pale Blue Eye. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, don't forget to hit the like and the share button so your friends can see this movie review. If you have seen The Pale Blue Eye and you've got thoughts and you've got comments about this movie, we'll put those in the comment section down below and let's talk about it. And I want to ask a quick question from you guys. Do you agree with me on my thoughts about Netflix? Do you think that Netflix released movies are just sort of one and done? Or do you think that there's more to them? Is there a Netflix movie you recommend to me? I'd love to know it. Put that down in the comment section. And finally, guys, if you have not subscribed yet, make sure you do that because I got a lot of content coming your way, including I'm going to go see Megan in theaters. It's the new Blumhouse horror movie, and I should have that review up in the next couple of days. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Well, all right, the first review for 2023 is in the books. Feels good to have accomplished that. I'm excited to go see Megan in a couple hours, try to get that uploaded before the end of the weekend. For those of you who are new to my channel, and there are a few of you, first of all, welcome. And also, I just want to say that I like to put little things at the end of my videos, like I talk about the next review or something like that. So yeah, my next review is going to be Megan. Very excited about that. And this month, I got like 6 or 7 more reviews planned for the month. There's so much content. I'm just excited. Brand new year. So yeah, thanks for watching.